what's up? It's Stef's Rock Show on Spotify, and we've got Jake from New Medicine. Thanks for stopping by.
Hell yeah, I'm glad to be here.
Fuck yeah. So I was just saying, I was so stoked. I had you on with my old station before the podcast at Aftershock 2014. And I found out medicine was kind of like your music, and that's why it was New Medicine. And you were saying it was dusty. It was really dusty.
Yeah, it was dusty. Yeah, that was a fun show. I remember like it was my first. It was one of the first aftershocks. I feel like it wasn't. I don't know how many had been before.
I thought it was too, because I lived in Hollywood before that. But
Yep.
someone just told me that it actually started the year prior. But I wasn't up in North. I was down in Southern California, so it was my first aftershock. So
yeah, it was mine too. That was awesome. Yeah, it's such a trip. I mean, yeah, we had just probably put out Breaking the Model, our second album. Yeah, that was when that was.
We were babies. We've aged well.
I agree. I think we look great. So
yeah. You know what's crazy? How many people, when I look, I've been interviewing for 20 years. So many people are dead. Like,
that's crazy.
It's nuts. Like, I'm
feel
sure. Blessed.
Oh man, I know. Same. I can't believe I'm still here and I still have hair. There we go.
You look like 25. So
yeah, good. All right, good.
So okay, wait. You were in Nashville when I interviewed you last, but you're from Minnesota, and now it looks like you're back in Minnesota.
No, we were just up there for a little bit, but no, I still live in Nashville here. Yeah, but I'm still in Nashville. I actually had a little stint where I lived in LA for a little bit, and our guitar player Dan lives in LA, and our drummer lives in Riverside, California, and then our bass player lives in Amsterdam in the Netherlands. So it's like we're all over the world. Yeah.
Band practice is a little hard. Zoom?
Yeah, they're coming in on Sunday. We have a tour next week. We're playing Nashville, Johnson City, and then we're going up to play with Breaking Benjamin in York, Pennsylvania next week. So we they fly in. Everybody flies into Nashville. We have a sleepover at my house, and we rehearse. We like pack it in when we're together. We're doing a photo shoot, video shoot, do the shows. Like all that stuff. We'll be in the studio for a day probably and shooting content, all that stuff. So yeah, it's a little more complicated now, but like we just focus more when we're together, which is good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you get a lot of content done at one time, and that's more common than you'd think. One band member usually lives far away, and
and also digitally now. I mean, I'll like send tracks to my drummer, and he'll just send me back drum files. Or same with my guitar player, bass player. Like I'll just be like, hey, dude, can you play something on this? Like. Because I produce a lot of our stuff now, or I co-produce it, but a lot of it I produce right in my house. I have a studio at my house, and like I produce a lot of records for other artists as well. So like I produced stuff for Citizen Soldier, Alligator's Way, like in the rock world, but then in the country world as well. So I'm always recording, and that's been like a huge benefit. Was me being a songwriter every day and writing for other artists. Like I got way better at songwriting and way better at producing, and so now. Yeah, it's easy for us to send something off, send the files back, and great. And then sometimes when we're together, that's why we went to Minnesota. We rented a cabin on a lake just to vibe, just to kind of get away from the cities and just chill. That's where we're from, so it's kind of nostalgic. And so we just kind of rented a cabin and the guys rode their motorcycles up, and we just kind of like hung by the lake and wrote songs. It was fun.
That looked beautiful. It looked really peaceful and like relaxing.
Yeah, it is. It's Minnesota's. People sleep on it. It's awesome up there. There's lakes everywhere. It's just beautiful. Yep.
Yeah, that's how I feel about Montana. I love Montana.
Oh yeah,
I have a cabin
too.
up there, and I go escape. I'm gonna go.
What part of Montana?
Hamilton. It's 45 minutes south of Missoula.
Yep, we love Missoula. We used to play there at the Wilma Theater, I think, is in Missoula. Yep.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah,
we love Montana.
I like how you called someone out in the band. You're like, someone lives in LA, someone lives in Riverside. You straight said Riverside. Like, man, that's it's cheaper to buy a house there.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he has a pool in his backyard, so I mean, and then my guitar player lives in LA, does not have a pool in his backyard because it's like, it's so different price wise. But
I had to leave LA to buy a house. Like,
exactly. It's crazy.
You can get a dump for $1 million. It's literally falling apart.
Yeah, I think that's exactly the vibe. And so that's why I left LA too, because I was like, what I was paying for rent there, I was like, I bought a house in Nashville, and then it's like that was way better investment and stuff. So anyways, but I mean, Yeah, he lives in Riverside, and then my other bass player lives in Amsterdam. So we're an eclectic bunch, you know.
That's crazy. You got bass player can get all the drugs. I like
yeah,
Amsterdam
bring
was
us
a
back
good
some
time.
drugs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it was in 2004 when I had a wild time. That was a long time ago.
Yep.
Okay, so Fake Friends is your guys' biggest release so far. What was the magic that kind of brought that together and made it such a hit?
Well, so I got introduced. Like I said, I was producing a song. I was out in Vegas with Rick from Adelaide's Way, and then he was like, "Hey, there's this band called Citizen Soldier," and they weren't really on my radar, even though they were blowing up on TikTok and all that stuff. And then he's like, "This band's like killing it, and the singer is like a great writer or whatever." And I was like, "Sweet." And so he's like, "We're gonna write a song together." And like me and Rick were in the studio out in Vegas, and I was producing a song for them, and then I met Jake. We ended up writing a song that Adelaide's Way put out. And while we were writing, we got each other's numbers. And then Jake was like, "Would you ever want to like do a collab with your band? Because I love your band." And I was like, "Oh, I mean, dude, yeah, send me some ideas you have, or whatever." And he just sent me the hook of that. Like he sent me like the first little bit of like, "All I've ever had are fake friends," whatever. He sent that little first chorus part. He's like, "I have this idea called Fake Friends." And then I was like, "Dude, I love this." And he's like, "Well, would you want to work on it?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." So we kind of just we went back and forth over like text and stuff, and then he finally booked a session. He came to Nashville, and we wrote some verses for it, and his guitar player came out. And then I just had a really good feeling about it when I heard the idea and I heard him sing it, and then I just felt, wow, that sounds like a hit. And I think our brands match pretty well in that space. And so I think it was just a culmination of their audience and our audience coming together, and then the perfect song that kind of blended the two, because they kind of do something different than we do, but we have things that kind of overlap. You know what I'm saying? We have a song called "Take Me Away" that's kind of very like in the mental health, world, and then that's kind of their whole thing. Is like he's a therapist and all that stuff. So, anyways, we did it and put it out, and I had a really good feeling about it. We decided like we're just gonna kind of drop it. We're not gonna like do a huge hype before, because we didn't want people to like, I don't know, these days you see so many teases, right? Where it's like
too much hype almost.
Too much, dude. I'm
like,
we have a song coming out tomorrow night that I'm like, I announced it on Monday. And not that it hasn't been done for a minute, but like, it's like, when I'm online, I'll see some like bit, and then they're like, "This is coming out in 6 weeks." And I'm like, "What? Like 6 weeks?" I'm like, "That's forever from now." You know what I mean? So I'm trying to like, hey, here it's coming, like a couple of days before. So we did that, and it seemed to be really successful. So it's still streaming like crazy. I think it's over 1 million streams already on all the platforms, which is definitely our fastest growing release. So
that's badass. Some bands are like Tim Curry and Rocky Horror Picture Show, and they're like, "And Tissa," and then Nation comes out a lot later. But you two bands complemented each other. And you know what I really love? Your lyrics. Oh, they're so relatable.
Oh, thank you.
My therapist thinks I'm a wreck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, past the past. Yeah, exactly.
I think in my 20s that my therapist would have thought I was a wreck.
Yeah.
Okay, so the shark tattoo, why did you get it? What does that mean? Do you serve?
Well, I got it. Well, I know I got the shark tattoo because like this, my left arm, all my tattoos on my left arm are kind of like things from my past. So like, oh, I can't look at the camera. That's my grandpa's truck that I used to ride around in when he died. I like got his truck. His nickname was the Hay Shaker. And then my sister that passed away, her name was Jocelyn Rose. I can't get it on the camera, but over there it is.
Do you have like a rose?
You have a bunch of roses on there. Anyways. Yeah.
So it's like, it means a lot. What is the
shark? So the shark for me was like, right when I was like 17, 18, we were like, we got out of high school and we got offered a record deal when I was like 19. And we had a drummer in high school that we had a different band, a different name, and we had these songs together. And then we ended up, parting ways with him. I mean, we were in high school, and then me and Dan kept going, and we started New Medicine. And then his parents like sued us and said, "Hey, he was in your first band, and so he deserves part of this record deal."
That's
blah, blah, blah.
rough.
Yeah, and I can talk about it now, but there was a long time it was like still a thing, you know what I mean? But we ended up going to court, and we won the case, and it's all good. And like honestly, this was literally like 15 years ago now. I was literally a baby. But
he's not Mick Mars. That's suing Motley Crue right now.
No, it was like, no, my attorney had made the argument like, oh, like there was a first drummer before Ringo Starr in the Beatles, and
that's a great point.
And that's kind of like what it was. But it was kind of like, just because you were in something, like it was a different band and we had different songs, that we were kind of like, how are you guys connecting this together? But anyways, it was just kind of like, someone I thought was like, would never do something like that to me. And I mean, we were friends. And I mean, and no matter what,
fake
like
friends.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it was just kind of like a reminder that, hey, there's sharks in the water. And honestly, the music industry, you know what I mean? Like there's sharks all
Not
over.
even
I mean,
Hollywood.
yeah, I mean, come on.
Woo!
The music industry is just full of them, and it's just like, lip service. And there's always sharks in the water. So it's just a reminder of that. So
you got to have thick skin for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, do you have a stylist? I liked your Abercrombie and Fitch pink popped collar look. Where did you create this? Someone else?
Oh, that was Dan. He bought that for my birthday. My guitar player, he lives in LA, and he was just like, dude, this shirt's kind of fly. It's like
it was
50s,
so Hollister 2009.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, am I in the mall right now?
No, I know. It's like a kind of like a 50s kind of like, yeah, exactly what you said. I don't know. He just bought that for my birthday, and I was like, at first I hung it in my closet, and I was like, well, thanks, dude. And I was like, like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull this off.
Yeah.
And then I was like, you shoot so much content now. I'm always like digging through my closet of like, I gotta get something else to wear because I've worn everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Like they've seen you on the show a million times with the same stuff, and you're like, okay. So I was like, I'll try that shirt on, and yeah, a couple of the videos I've posted in that shirt have gone viral, so that's cool.
It was a statement. I was scrolling.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's unique. And it reminded me of, like maybe 20 years ago when I was walking into a store and I'd be like, oh, that frat guy's really hot in the pink tops. So I used to have, I don't know why this was cool. I had multiple collars popped, like 2 or 3 collars stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
Did you ever do that?
Yeah, a double collar pop. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Why was that a thing? I don't
know. Glad it's over.
Yeah, me too. That was a weird. I think it was stranger than the 80s. So my dog just said hi, and I have an Australian Shepherd, and I saw that you have an Australian Shepherd. Yeah. What's your name?
His name's Waylon. Yep.
Like aren't they so smart?
So smart. He's too smart. I'm always like, dude. He's so expressive, and then he also he just can he'll put his paw up on the door of where his treats are, and he looks at me like, dude, open it up. You know what I mean? Like he knows everything. Like he knows if I'm taking my suitcase out, he's like, oh shit, we're going somewhere, or you're going somewhere. What's happening? Like he knows. We have to be very careful.
100%. Mine's Ludo, but I call him Lou. And I say, you want to go for a walk? And he grabs his leash and he'll run to the door. And he's only 1.5, so he still has a lot of energy though. And they're so smart. They need to be busy,
they're workers. Yep.
Yes. And he thinks he's taking care of my cat and my 2 kids, and he runs circles around them, and upstairs he has to herd them, and down.
Yeah. That's so funny. That sounds like an Aussie. Yep. I love them.
They're a great breed though. Okay, so what's coming out with new medicine? You said there's a new song being dropped soon. Tell us what to look forward to.
Yep. So tomorrow night, so at midnight tomorrow night, so Friday, but new song called Skin that's coming out, and there's a new lyric video for it and everything. And we're playing it, like I said, we're playing next week in Nashville. And I wanted to drop this song before we played, hey, here's a new song too, right? And right before we go do these shows. But we've had this one in the can for a minute, but it's just it's kind of a deeper song where it's called Skin, and it's just about feeling not comfortable in your own skin, when you just feel I don't know. In my whole life, I've always had times where I'm like, God, I wish I was taller. I wish I was this. I wish I was that, and not feeling you mean not loving yourself or whatever, and wishing you could, fix parts of yourself. But it's just called Skin, and it's a special song, and I just think it's another leap forward for us, sonically and lyrically. And I'm excited. I think it's going to resonate with a lot of people. So it comes out tomorrow night. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, we'll post this interview right now today, and I'm looking forward to hearing it. And thanks so much, Jake, for 10 years later sitting down with me.
Absolutely. This was awesome. And I can't believe that's such a small world. I can't believe we hung out 10 years ago.
Yeah. And like I said, we're still alive. So we're
still really doing it. We're still doing it. And we have a whole album kind of in the works right now. So there's going to be, we're trying to do is drop a song every 3 to 5 weeks. And then we're going to drop a bunch at one time. And, it's just
and you weren't a year ago doing a countdown, hey, in a year.
No, exactly. And we're doing, and when I get something finished, I'm like, just put it out. You know what I mean? I don't want to wait. And I do feel that we're on the best creative roll we've ever been on, and I mean, all the streaming has been crazy and the new people listening to us. So, and thanks
Yeah.
for putting us on your show.
We'll come back on anytime. And I will
100%.
say, getting older, the wisdom that you get in your section of work is phenomenal. So I think you guys are only going to get better and more creative as time goes on.
I agree. I feel that way. I thought when I was like 24, my career was like about to be done or something. You know what I mean? And now I'm like, I'm writing the best songs I've ever written. I'm in my 30s now, and I'm like, I'm writing the best songs I've ever written now because actually, I have more to write about and a way better, you know, muscle of writing. You know. So
yeah, we've been through some stuff. We
absolutely, yeah,
it's
exactly.
easier.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, thanks, dude, so much.
Yep,
And we
yep.
look forward to
Cheers.
following you guys. I'll tag you. And I hope you have a great Wednesday, right?
You too.
It's Wednesday.
Tell Ludo Waylon says hi.
I will. We'll have to
All
get the Aussies together one day.
I know. Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Bye.